Excited to learn about the different types of bunkers there are on a golf course. You don't really think that there's names to these bunkers, but we're learning together with the Parfessor, an independent golf channel focused on fun, affordable golf in your area. And if you have any bunkers that we might have missed, well, just drop them in the comment section down below. And we have a total of 14 bunkers here, starting off at number 14. We have a cross hazard bunker. This is a bunker that plays a factor on the hole because it's in front of the line of play. It crosses the fairway, it crosses the rough before the green. A cross bunker, in other words, is a bunker that the golfer has to play a shot over, carry, one would say, in order to reach their target. There's smaller versions, and they're pretty much strategically placed. We started to see a development of these in the early to mid 20th century. Moving into number 13, have hidden bunkers. Now, these aren't visible from the tee or the fairway, and they typically require course knowledge before navigating the hole. Now, depending on traditional or modern courses, you'll be surprised to see a hidden bunker on one of these holes. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're big, but they're always a surprise. It's now going to leave us with 12 more types of bunkers to celebrate together with. Here we are at number 12. We have lateral or waist bunkers. Now these are typically parallel to a fairway or green, and they're penalized when you spray the ball left or right of it. Now they're used in various designs, and sometimes in desert courses you'll see them highlighted even more, and you won't be sure if you're in a waste area or not. Popular modern golf courses, such as the ones designed by Tom Fazio, have seen a lot of these waste bunker areas come into play. I had to put this on the list. Maybe it's not a bunker, or it depends on the type of course you're playing, but they're out there and you've probably hit one into it. Moving into number 11, we have a blowout bunker. Now, these are interesting because they naturally occur when the wind erodes a sand dune, creating a irregular shape within the bunker. We commonly see these through natural link courses and traditional link ocean courses with coastal uh, sand to them, one would say. I've played a lot of these link courses. You've probably played a few of them. Some of them can be bigger than others. They seem like a huge blowout. Not on traditional link style course. Nebraska's Sand Hills has it as well. Moving us now into next bunker. Well, it's a shell bunker, believe it or not. In some coastal golf courses, like in the region of Florida and the Caribbean, their bunkers are filled with crushed shells instead of sand, and this is typically in coastal areas. I myself have never played in a golf course of such craziness when there's a bunker filled with shells. I'm not thinking I'm going to hit off of it, but nonetheless, there are shell bunkers, and it's one of the course type on this list. It's going to leave us quickly and interestingly enough into our next one, the grass bunker. Now, just as the name says, this is a grassy mimic shape of a bunker, but instead of sand, it's filled with grass. Typically, you'll see this when sand bunkers were a little too aggressive and they just filled it in. It really dates back to the beginning of golf course where they did have some grass bunkers take place. Now, nowadays you don't really see that many grass bunkers, but when I do see them, they're typically on the downward end of a bunker. But things could be changing in the near future, moving us now into our next type of bunker is a sod wall bunker. Now, similar to a revetted bunker, A sod walled bunker is horizontally stacked pieces of sod, which is grass, creating a steep wall surface in front of the bunker, typically right before you got to get over into a green or fairway bunker. Now they have other shapes, and it's traditionally a link, Scottish and Irish link feel to it, but they can get pretty big right off the bat, as you can see on some of these pictures. We like to gather as much footage of the sod wall bunkers. I'm always a sucker for a good sod wall bunker before hitting over. You can see right off the bat, they kind of add a little characteristics to some of the courses, but they're demanding to build and they could fall apart pretty easily if the sod goes. It's now going to move us into our next golf course bunker, which is a coffin bunker. Now these are always small, but they can come in different shapes and sizes. We always see a rectangular bunker, often placed in tricky locations throughout the golf course. Most notably, you've seen these on the St. Andrews course in the early design phases of golf courses across Scotland. We saw a lot of these coffin bunkers here. Some are nicer than others, some are deeper than others, but they're always a fun added characteristic to each and every golf course around the world. It's going to now move us into our next bunker. Famous church pew bunkers. Now, I haven't played too many courses with this, but it's where the grass covers ridges within the sand, creating the a church pew throughout the golf bunker. Now, these have made famous in the Oakmont Country Club in Philadelphia in the early 20th century, where they started coming into play. I am a big fan of these bunkers when I see them, but I don't think I've ever played on a golf course that has these type of church pew bunkers that were jumping out at me this rapidly, this many in a row. I've seen a few of them, not this many. I'm going to keep a lookout in our golf reviews for them. It's going to quickly move us into our next golf bunker. It's the cross bunker. Now the cross bunker stretches across the fairway, creating a barrier that requires strategical navigation to get through. This was commonly created in the early 20th century when British link golf courses started adding some bunkers throughout the course. Now some of them are bigger than others. They pretty much stretch right through the fairway. It's a quick one. It's one that's a little ambiguous nonetheless, but on this channel we don't mess around. Moving us now into the famous pot bunker. Now these are small, deep bunkers with a steep face, commonly found again in these link courses, and they were created by the godfather of golf design, Old Norse himself. I tell you what, I've been in a few of these challenging bunkers, and they're a little demanding to get out of it. Some of them are smaller than others. St. Andrews has a few that they're very well known for, which pretty arguably is the creation of them, the old course there, and definitely going to be one we're going to want to highlight on this list. It's now moving us into our next type of bunker on a golf course. We have the old-fashioned waste bunker. These are typically very large, natural, sandy areas that aren't technically hazards, like mentioned before in the video. Golfers can ground their clubs here, and that's an important factor when hitting out of these quote-unquote waste bunkers. They're popular in modern design courses like Tom Fazio. You see them again throughout all these desert and coastal courses, throughout links courses. It's definitely one you want to stay out of. However, there's no hazard associated with a waste bunker. Moving into a famous one, we have the Greenside bunker. Now this is just as I said, it's typically always right near the green, putting green surfaces. They're designed in challenging approach shot locations where if you miss, you end up in the bunker. often deeper than other bunkers because it's pretty challenging to get out of. A greenside bunker is extremely common in all golf designs since the late 19th century, and really since golf has been playing a factor when it was created. You'd always have a little bunker right before, and sometimes you don't. But nonetheless, on each one of the holes, you'll see two or three. And now leave us with our last type of bunker. We have the famous fairway bunker. Now, the fairway bunker is positioned along the fairway of a golf hole, which is adjacent between the tee box and the hole itself. Now, we can see large fairway bunkers and we can see short fairway bunkers. But for the most part, they're generally not as deep as a greenside bunker. In the evolution of the game of golf, we have seen a widespread amount of fairway bunkers since the early 20th century of golf design. Is not going to do our list in for the final golf bunker, and arguably one of the more common ones outside of the greenside bunker. I think it's more of a tie between those two. That's going to do it for our list. Keep a lookout for more videos to come. This is the Parfessor, an independent golf channel. Focus on fun, affordable golf in your area. If you're not watching, go play a little bit of golf today.